everyone. I'm Staci Franklin. I'm the owner and lead event planner for It's Your Day Weddings and Special Events. And this is where I give you tips and tricks to help you plan a stress-free wedding day. So the topic of my broadcast today is basically to give you just a few tips to help you choose a wedding venue. What are some things that you need to consider? You have now gotten engaged and maybe you have set your budget. So now is the time for you to do the number one thing, and that's to decide where are you going to get married, where are you going to have your reception. In some cases, it may be two separate venues, or in a lot of cases now people like to do everything in one place. So what are some things that you need to think about before you sign on the dotted line to rent your venue? So the number one thing you want to consider is what all is included. What type of packages do they have? And so what I mean by that, is it just open space that doesn't include anything? You're simply renting the space. Does it include tables and chairs? Does it include linens? Are there any other type of decor? Do they do centerpieces? Is it a type of venue that also includes or has the ability to include catering or bar service? So those are just a few things that you want to ask the question, because it may be that you don't have a lot of time and you don't have the patience to do an extensive search on all the various vendors that you need for your wedding and reception. So maybe you want to narrow down your choices to venues that are all inclusive or that are considered one-stop shops, meaning that they can provide the catering, they can provide bar service, they can do the decor and florals, that they handle everything. And so that will eliminate a lot of the stress of you having to go out and search for all of the different vendors that are needed to pull together your wedding and reception. So number one, you want to ask the question, what's included? And again, if you're the type that doesn't have the time or the patience to go out and search for the variety of vendors that you need, you want to narrow down your list of venues to those that include the most or that could be considered one-stop shops. Number two, you might want to consider on-site accommodations. So if it's important to you that your guests, particularly if you have a lot of guests coming from out of town, and that you don't want them to have to be trying to find their way around because they're unfamiliar with the city and the location, you might want to consider doing hotel type venues that offer rooms, that have hotel rooms. So that's something to consider. Or a location that is maybe within walking distance or just a few blocks away from a number of different hotels where people can easily get back and forth to the venue. So do they have on-site accommodations? One of the things that I like to tell people too when it comes to this, if you know that your family and friends are big drinkers, and because it's a wedding and reception, a lot of times if you're going to be serving alcohol, you want to take that into consideration and not have people necessarily driving from your reception. So if it is a thing of where people are going to indulge and have a good time, then maybe having it at a location that does offer on-site accommodations or are not very far from where your reception is taking place is definitely something that you want to consider. So number two, does the venue offer on-site accommodations? Is that something that that may be something that you seriously need to consider depending on your family and friends who are planning to be there with you? Number three, you definitely, and this is really kind of a no-brainer, but I have to always stress this, particularly if you may be planning a destination wedding or not in the same city or doing a lot of research online, you really want to take the time, if at all possible, to make sure that you set up time to do on-site visits. This is very important. Pictures can be really pretty online, but it's not until you actually walk into that venue, meet the people who are there who are going to be staffing the event and managing, the event for you as on behalf of the venue, that you get a real feel for what you're dealing with. I still go out to venues every couple of months or so just to see and get a feel for what's out there so that I can then recommend to my clients venues that I think fit in line with what their vision is for their day. But I really think that's something that you need to consider, that you definitely need to do, because sometimes a venue looks a certain way online doesn't necessarily mean that that's the way that it is in person, particularly when it pertains to space. Sometimes a venue may look much larger when you're looking at pictures online versus when you actually walk into that venue. Or it could be the opposite. It could be much larger than what you had anticipated by just looking at photos online. So definitely take the time out to schedule some site visits so that you have a good feeling about what it is that you're getting and what it is that you're looking for as far as your vision is concerned. So definitely take time to do some on-site visits. And number 4, don't commit too soon. Now, that's not to say to hem and haw and hedge on where you're going to have it and prolong the process. But what I'm saying is sometimes you've fallen in love with the venue online. You've gone to the venue and you've checked it out, and you still, you like it. But you really want to take some time to just let that breathe. And the reason why I say that is because sometimes you fall in love with the venue, but you haven't really considered everything. An example might be your guest list. How many people are going to be attending? Sometimes you have a venue that may comfortably hold 100, but let's say that that your guest list is probably going to be about 150. Is that venue really going to be comfortable for all of the guests that you are anticipating to attend? Or it could be that you're going to have 100 guests, but that venue can easily hold 300-400. Is it going to be too big? Is it going to be cavernous? And you're going to have to try and fill the space with all of this decor. So those are some things that you just want to think about, and you don't want to rush into this too soon, because 9 times out of 10, the venue is going to be one of the biggest chunks of your budget that you're going to spend. And you want to make sure that you spend wisely. You want to make sure that you have done your due diligence to make sure that it is the place that it fulfills your vision, that it has everything that you want, that it checks all of the boxes. Another thing to consider is, does it have everything that you're looking for? So there are some venues out there that they may not have a place for you to get dressed. They don't have a bridal suite, or they don't have a room for the guys to get ready, or whoever it is to get ready. Is that really important to you? If it's very important to you and that's going to be an annoyance, and it's going to mean that you're going to have to get ready at home or get a hotel suite or somewhere else, is that important to you? Is that a deal breaker? Those are some things that you want, to think about. Do you really want a venue that can have tables and chairs so that you don't have to go out searching for that? Is that a deal breaker for you? So you really need to make an extensive, exhaustive list of what it is you want in your venue. Does it check off all the boxes for what you want and need in your venue? And if it does, and it meets your budget, then by all means, go back, take care of it, do your deposit, sign on the dotted line, and move forward. But if there are some things that are really important to you that the venue doesn't have, and that you think as you go down the line it's really going to be irritating to you, then you may want to think twice and go further down your list in looking for another place. So let's just do a quick review. Number 1, What all is included with the venue? What comes with it? Do they have packages? Be very, I would say, make sure that you are honest with yourself about what it is that you're looking for. Are you the type of person that you don't mind having to do the research or having someone else do the research to bring all the other vendors on board to make sure that everything goes smoothly with your day? Meaning tables, chairs, linens, floral, decor, catering, bar service. Or do you really want to have a place that has all of that included with the venue rental, and you can go forward from there? If that's the case, then you can easily narrow down your list to venues that are one-stop shops, and that's going to make it so easy for you. Number two, should you consider venues that have on-site accommodations? For example, hotel spaces. Are you looking for that? If you know that you have a lot of family and friends coming from out of town, they're going to need hotel spaces. You may want to consider a hotel type venue. Number three, make sure you do good on-site visits and you ask great questions when you go there. Make sure that your guest count the venue can accommodate the number of guests that you're planning to have. You don't want anything too small, and you don't necessarily want anything too big that it swallows everything up and you're going to spend more money on decor than necessary. And number four, make sure that you don't commit too early. Do your due diligence. Think about everything that's on your list that you need, and then go from there in making your choice. So hopefully this information will be of help to you as you're going through your process to select your wedding venue. If you need additional help in trying to plan your wedding and having a stress-free wedding day, be sure to go to my website at bit.ly/The Organized Bride. You can get a copy of my ebook called The Organized Bride, 15 Steps to Planning a Stress-Free Wedding Day. That will definitely be helpful to you. I cover selecting a venue, selecting a caterer, how to go about your selection for your wedding dress, and any and everything in between. So great piece of information for you, and it's called The Organized Bride. And you can go to bit.ly/The Organized Bride. It will definitely help you with that. If this video has been helpful to you, please like and share it with others. Definitely appreciate that. Again, my name is Staci Franklin. I'm the owner and lead event planner for It's Your Day Weddings and Special Events. And I definitely appreciate you taking the time to join me today. Again, I want to give you helpful information that's going to help you plan a stress-free wedding day. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll check you out the next time. Thanks. Bye.